How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. Now in this video, we're going to be talking about the double Game Week 25 team selection. We're going to be looking at my squad, starting 11, captaincy, transfer plan, going into that deadline tomorrow evening. So please remember that the double Game Week 25 deadline is on Friday night. I don't want any of you guys missing it. If you have notifications for Twitter or YouTube, you'll be seeing that we hopefully will be doing a deadline with Dayvy livestream. So that will be your reminder. We're also going to be taking a look at how my squad got on in double Game Week 24, which was the first smaller double game week in a few consecutive doubles on the horizon. So really exciting time in FPL at the moment. There's going to be massive rank gains, rank drops. It's all going to come up with these doubles. And if you do have a good plan for these blanks and the doubles, I'm pretty sure you guys will be seeing a lot of green arrows. So as I said, we'll also be looking at my squad in double Game Week 24. And spoiler alert, we did get entrance to the 100 club. So that's something you're interested in. Sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So as I mentioned, we're going to be talking briefly about the double Game Week 26 fixture reveal. So as of recording this video, the fixtures have not been released, but there is an expectation that that's going to be happening tonight. So as you're watching this video, as I release it, the fixtures might have been announced. I will be retweeting it or tweeting about it on my Twitter page. So just have notifications on there, or you can just have notifications for whatever you want in the FPL community. If that's Ben Krellin, will be using his transfer planner for quite a while and also his game week schedule. So I'm pretty sure he'll have a lot to say about the upcoming doubles. So also in the transfer decisions this week, we'll be talking about the double Game Week 26. But if I do give you guys a recommendation, if you're looking to wildcard, I might just hold off on it until the fixtures are announced. I'm pretty sure we will be getting a fixture update before that double Game Week 25 deadline. I'm hoping it's today and not tomorrow, because if it is tomorrow, that's not going to give us a lot of time to plan, especially for those of you on your wildcard. But I would still try to hold off on the wildcard. If you've activated it, there's not that much to worry about there. The game weeks should be how we plan them out on that Ben Krellin game week planner. So not too much to worry about, but we just kind of want to make sure and confirm 100% that the double Game Week 26 is going to happen how we want it. I'll also be dropping a comment down below if it has been announced. So just check in the comments down below and I'll keep you guys up to date also on my Twitter page. So now going on to that double Game Week 24 team selection, and as I mentioned, we got into the 100 club. So 101 points, always nice to get into the 100-point club. Even though this was a smaller double game week, this was largely due to one man and one man only. That's going to be Gundogan. He managed to get us 38 points with the captaincy. I saw a couple of people even using the triple captain on him, so that's an absolutely sensational triple captain there. I usually aim for 15 points personally for my triple captain, so 19 points is a great shout. A little bit unlucky there for him to miss out on the Everton game, because I do think he could have got some more attacking returns, seeing how bad that Everton defense was yesterday. But that's just something you have to take on the chin. I think at the start of the game week, if you were promised 19 points, you would have taken it. But that 101 points saw a nice little green arrow up to about that 67k mark. If you remember correctly, last game week, I think we were about that 90k mark. So nice little green arrow there. We're kind of ticking along nicely here, just racking up these green arrows. If you watch the deadline with Dayvy live stream, I actually said that I just wanted to get a green arrow this week, and I would have been happy. My expectations weren't that high. The fixtures were looking a little bit rough for some of my starting 11, but luckily 101 points came out on the right side of this game week with a nice green arrow. So starting off in goal, and Soufal as well, Fabianski and Soufal, their West Ham defenders, getting me a lovely clean sheet. Unfortunately, no really bonus points for Fabianski, just with the one save point, but I was happy that I stuck onto these two assets. I would have liked to have brought in Nick Pope, but considering he just got a little bit more points than Fabianski, and with Fabianski having that blank game week 29 fixture, I think it might have been worth just keeping the free transfer. So Soufal and Fabianski, really happy with them. We then go on to Diaz and Cancelo, who I was a little bit disappointed with. I was just happy that Diaz and Cancelo started against Everton, but it was a little bit unfortunate they managed to concede there. A little bit of a weird goal. I think that Lucas Digne shot it against the post and then it ricocheted off Richarlison's body. So that was a little bit unlucky there, but you just have to take that. I knew that Diaz had the potential to be benched in one of these two fixtures, especially after coming back from that illness, but I wasn't going to transfer Diaz out, simply just going to keep him along with Cancelo and just hope for the best. But Cancelo did get a clean sheet against Spurs, which I was happy about, but this could have been a massive haul if last night they just managed to keep Everton out of that one goal. Then finally, in the defense, one of the heroes of the game week, it was Lowton. So Lowton, I think, scored his first goal in 8 years, and luckily we had him in the lineup. So the nice thing about Lowton is he basically accounted for two Burnley defenders. If you had Ben Mee, Tarkowski, Nick Pope, I think Lowton outscored outscored any two pairings of those. So massive haul there from Lowton, and just happy that I managed to get a little bit of luck this FPL season and get his first goal in 8 years. He also got a clean sheet, but then unfortunately didn't get a clean sheet last night. But we just have to take that one on the chin. I'm always going to take 17 points from a cheap Burnley defender. Then finally in the midfield and the forward department, Fernandes managing to return there, which I was happy about. A lot of people also went for the captain, so I was happy that Gundogan outperformed Bruno Fernandes. But if you didn't go for Bruno Fernandes and you didn't go for Gundogan, I don't think you'd be too mad about that. It was a double game week, but I don't think anyone would have expected City to do that well against Spurs, and especially for Gundogan to do that well. We also have Salah there, who managed to score, and then Souček, a little bit of a disappointment there. It was Sheffield United. I thought that game would be quite close. It was in the end, but Souček there with just the 3 points. Whenever I start him, he never scores, and we are potentially looking to take him out. So imagine what he's going to be doing when he's out of my team. Then also in the forward line, we have Bamford. A little bit of a disappointment there with only 2 points along with Ollie Watkins, but there's nothing much that you can do about that. On the bench, the right benching decision in the end. Son with only 2 points, Dallas with -1, and then Calvert-Lewin not playing either game. So if you did manage to start Calvert-Lewin, hopefully you got someone like Harvey Barnes off your bench, because there was an expectation that he might start against Man City, and because Everton ended up scoring, you might have felt a little bit unlucky. Johnston there with also 4 points, racking up the save points there, and with a potential start next week for Johnston, I'm hoping that he can keep up this save form. But now let's go look at what transfers we are planning. So the one transfer that I think is pretty much confirmed is going to be Souček to Rafinha. This is in mind with the double Game Week 25 fixtures, obviously for Leeds. Leeds, Southampton both have a double there, so you can go for either of those options. If you want to go for Ward-Prowse, you could also maybe look at him. I saw a stat on Twitter that said that Southampton's set pieces have been relatively good, and the teams they're playing in the double have been relatively bad from a defensive point of view. So you could also look at Southampton as a potential option there, Ward-Prowse or Danny Ings, but I think I'm just going to be favouring Rafinha there because I prefer the fixtures of Leeds to the fixtures of Southampton. So this is the one transfer that's basically confirmed. The nice thing about this is that Souček and Rafinha both have a fixture in blank Game Week 29, so it's basically nulling out, taking a player out in blank Game Week 29 and bringing one back in. We do still have 2 free transfers, and the one thing that I was considering is maybe looking at taking Johnston out for Martinez. So Martinez is the keeper that I want. I know we've been talking about him and the fact that he's been making so many saves, and that's actually not a good thing from a defensive point of view. It's perfectly fine if he keeps those goals out and he gets those save points and racks up those bonus points, but because he's conceding so many shots, it just makes me wonder a little bit about that Aston Villa defense and how solid it is at the moment. But with those fixtures coming up in double Game Week 26, Martinez is definitely the keeper I'm looking at, and I have the exact money to do that move. I was kind of hoping for, if you remember on Ben Crellin's Game Week planner, there was a potential that Aston Villa would have a fixture in double Game Week 25, or more or less a double game week, but I think that would have been announced already, so I don't think there's too much truth to that kind of double Game Week 25. So I think that transfer can wait till next week, where we just assess the situation with the Spurs assets, what we want to do before that double Game Week 26. If we want to use the triple captain even, so I think I'm going to be keeping 1 free transfer this week so that I can have 2 next week. So Rafinha, Souček, this was like a relatively safe swap. You can even go for the captaincy on Rafinha if you want to, but I think I'll be going a little bit more safe with Bamford. So now going on to the double Game Week 25 team selection here. So I haven't made any transfers yet. I'll be talking about those transfers or the Souček to Rafinha move and what that means for our starting lineup, but I think it probably means that I'm going to be benching one of my Man City defenders. I could bench Dallas or Lowton, but I think those fixtures are just too good, and obviously Dallas has the double, so Diaz or Cancelo probably will find his way on the bench. I could also bench Watkins, but I just think against Leicester, Aston Villa could do well. I think that Leicester will probably play a little bit more open, and that's going to differ to the sides that Aston Villa have been playing recently. They've been playing quite cagey teams, quite defensive teams, teams that are double stacking Grealish and man marking Grealish, so I think he'll be given a little bit more freedom, and hopefully that means Ollie Watkins can get something in that Leicester fixture. So probably Diaz will be on the bench because I just favour that Cancelo attacking threat, but if Cancelo or Diaz doesn't start, I'm just kind of hoping they don't come on the field as a substitute, and then I can simply just get whoever I have on the bench straight into the lineup. So that's kind of how the team will rotate if I do bring Rafinha in for Souček, which is probably the confirmed move this week. But starting off on goal, as I mentioned, Johnston will be getting a start this week because they are facing Burnley. Fabianski at home to Spurs. I do have Son already, so I'm not really too fond of playing Fabianski in that case, and I'm not going to play Kufal as well because I don't want to double up. So I'm perfectly fine with starting Johnston, basically hoping that that West Bromwich Albion vs Burnley game is going to be a 0-0, as that'll be the maximum points that I can get there. Also with Dallas, already spoke about, no brainer there, has a double game week, definitely going to be in the lineup. We have Fernandes, Son, Gundogan and Salah in the midfield. This Salah game should be quite interesting because Salah and Bruno has basically been the talk of the town this week. In the double game week 25 preview, we spoke about this in depth with the stats and how hard it is to differentiate Salah and Fernandes and who you should be taking working out. So I think this week's going to be very interesting. Obviously, Fernandes has the better fixture there. Newcastle at home, absolutely plump fixture. I'm expecting a big win for Manchester United, so you could even look at him as a potential single game week captaincy option if you don't have someone like Bamford or Rafinha. And then we have Son, who travels to West Ham. Now these games are usually quite close, so I'm just hoping that Son can do something, and I'm even hoping that Kane maybe can show some glimpses of brilliance, because he is our top option for that triple captaincy going into double game week 26. So it's one of those weird situations where I actually hope he doesn't bang, but I hope he passes the eye test enough for me still to feel comfortable putting the triple captaincy on him. And then we have Gundogan, who's currently injured, but Pep came out and said that he should be fine for that Arsenal fixture. So fingers crossed that he will be fine for that game, because with Kevin De Bruyne back, I think it just makes Gundogan such a better option. Then finally in the forward line, our captaincy is going to be on Bamford. Really comfortable with captaincy on Bamford. It's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion, just going for the lead striker with that double game week. Leeds just such an attacking side. Bamford is always going to get chances, and you just got to kind of hope that he manages to convert those. The nice thing about Bamford as well is that he does play FPL, and I'm pretty sure this week is going to be captaining himself. So a little bit of an incentive there for his own team, so hopefully he bangs in 2 double hat-tricks. And then Ollie Watkins, already spoke about him against Leicester, just kind of hoping that the Aston Villa striker can back up the recent stats that he's had and produce some goals and assists. On the bench, Souček, Kufal and Calvert-Lewin, not going to be playing any of these lineups, only Rafinha if he does come in for Souček, and as I mentioned, that's probably going to be Diaz on the bench. So this is basically a wrap for the video, guys. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like it if you did, and subscribe if you're new, have not subscribed yet. Hopefully I'll be checking you guys tomorrow in a Deadline with Dayvy live stream for that double game week 25 deadline, which is a Friday night. Please remember that it's not a Saturday afternoon / morning / evening, wherever you are in the world. And I'll also be checking you guys on my Twitter page at Dayvy FPL. I'll be signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL, and I'm out. Cheers. Bye.